as the time for action is now. The time has started ticking for these ministers. A lot of responsibilities after the reception this evening. Tomorrow, Tuesday, we expect them to resume, if not today, at their offices.
Now, it's really important that they have a united front and work together to create a common goal for the common man in Nigeria. There should be that national ideology set up that they all run with. Now, apart from setting up KPIs, I think non-performance is a factor of not knowing what to do. Some of these ministers would need proper training, and maybe a national retreat for them would be very important to get them to know what their job entails. Maybe some consultants or technocrats could be employed to get the framework to be set up, and that would be really useful to them. Another key thing is public trust, regaining public trust by communication. Nigerians are not difficult people. Most of the time when there are issues or friction between the people and the government is because of poor or lack of communication. Let there be proper communication on strategies. Let there be a feedback mechanism for Nigerians to also contribute to government policies. And let the implementation involve more of technology and innovation. We've seen the use of technology all across board with the elections. Each ministry can create a form of technology that can drive their process and that can ensure transparency that we all wish for.
Okay, we have Yemi Adebayo, our correspondent at the Villa, joining us right now. Hello, Yemi. Can you tell us what you have? Of course, we'll follow.
Thank you very much, Nancy.
Fantastic. Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Well, I can hear you very clearly, Nancy and Amici. Well, the ministers just finished taking their photographs here, and we are trying to get some of them to speak to us on camera. But from what the president said clearly just about a few minutes ago, is giving them the marching order to ensure that his renewed hope agenda is pushed across to ensure that Nigerians feel the impact of his administration. Aside from this, the president also told them clearly that they should be aware that they are ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and not ministers of state or a regional minister. So he wants them to be sure of what they are doing at the various ministries that they've been assigned to. So we will try and make effort to speak to one of the ministers who will actually give us an insight into what he or she is hoping from what the president has said a little while ago. Amici and Nancy.
Okay, Yemi, are you getting one of them? I'm thinking I'm seeing the Minister of Trade behind you. That's Madam Doris. Is she the one I'm seeing close to you?
I guess the producer.
The one walking away. Yes.
The producer there will be making attempts.
Yes. So if we can get the ministers, fantastic.
Yeah, like I said, we'll try and get some of the ministers to talk to us.
Okay, if not on this program, the next program to come, people, politics and power, we really need to hear from them. Part of the communications Eniola Cole is talking about. Now, that big man syndrome, you should, of course, they should, of course, realize that they are there for the interests of the people. But Professor Onyebuchichukwu, don't see yourself as representing a state while you are in reality representing a state, but see yourself as a minister of the Federal Republic. How would they reconcile these two differences?
Yes, they are ministers of the Federal Republic. They've been assigned specific ministries to oversee and ensure that the president's ideas and manifesto are manifested through them in those ministries. So it is possible. The area of being minister of your state of origin is an informal thing.
Okay, Prof, sorry, they have grabbed a minister now, so let's quickly get back to the Yemi Adebayo speaking with the minister right away.
All right, thank you very much, Amici. I have with me the Minister of Information. All right, a very good afternoon.
And national orientation.
National orientation. Okay, basically from what the president has said, what do you pick from his words?
Well, what he's saying is that there's now a renewed commitment by him and the new ministers to ensure that development comes to Nigeria, hope comes back to Nigeria, progress comes back to Nigeria. That is what he wants to do, and now the ball has been set rolling for everybody to be on board in that direction of progress and development.
Okay, you are the Minister of Information and National Orientation. What do you intend to bring on board?
Well, I will unveil that to you in due course, but I can tell you that there will be progress, there will be transparency in the management of Nigeria's information system. We will get to hear more about what government is doing. You will hear more about what each ministry and each minister is doing. You will get to know about us. You will get to know about the progress. You get about to know about the agenda of the federal government, by God's grace.
All right, thank you very much. That's the Minister of Information talking to us there, giving his perspective of the statement from the President and as well what he intends to do for the Ministry of Information and National Orientation. Amechi, we hope to bring you more of these ministers in a little while.
Okay, we expect them to have them even on the next program. If you don't see us there, Imoni Amere is standing by to take it off from us here. But let's allow Professor Chukwu to conclude on his point, reconciling the fact that you represent a state, but you're responsible for the entire nation.
Yes, Minister of Federal Republic of Nigeria is their first function, the prime role, but the subsidiary role is showing interest in matters that affect the states, because the Constitution had a reason for insisting that at least there must be a minister from each state or the federation. It's not just about giving those people from those states a sense of belonging, but also during matters that are being discussed at the Federal Executive Council, they'll be able to bring in those peculiar issues that affect their own state, and also be able to talk to their colleagues, ministers, about peculiar problems that affect their states of origin. But that should be secondary to being the Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Okay, we should get last word from Tokumbo.
Yes, Tokumbo. Tokumbo, you're still there? The last words are from you.
Well, as far as last words, I think people have said the main things here. I think for me personally, service is a very key one for these ministers. Fundamentally, they must understand and realize that they are there as servants to us, the people. They are not there as, yes, they are in leadership positions, but they are there as servants to us. And so fundamentally, it is not, yes, it's a day of celebration for personal achievement, but fundamentally, like the former minister said, there should be some sense of
Very sorry, Tokumbo, they will have to stop you prematurely. Let's get back to the Villa. Yemi Adebayo has to speak with another minister. Let's get to hear the agenda.
Thank you very much, Amici. I have joining me Honorable Minister Hannatu Musawa.
No, this is Iman Ibrahim. Iman Suleiman Ibrahim.
Iman Suleiman, I beg your pardon. Minister of State Police Affairs, I beg your pardon. Okay, what do you intend to bring on board?
First of all, I would like to thank His Excellency, Mr. President, for this confidence he has showed in me. His areas of focus is economy and security according to the Renewed Hope agenda. And I think it's a thing of pride for women in security. I'm looking forward to entrenching a stronger professionalism, accountability, discipline, rule of law, security of lives and properties in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I think it's exciting time for the Nigerian police affairs.
Okay, there's been a lot of issues around the police, in Nigeria. There's these extrajudicial killings. There's been issue of integrity of the Nigerian police force. How do you intend to address some of these issues?
We know that there are challenges. We have a very strong force who work with all critical stakeholders to ensure that we have the best police force in the world. We'll be able to apply best practices. We will learn from from best practices. We'll work with every part of society, all critical stakeholders.
All right, the president did say that as a minister, you are the minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, not a minister of state minister of a region.
That's right.
How do you intend to push this message?
It clearly shows you from my portfolio, there's no state, no local government in Nigeria that doesn't have a police command or needs the police touch. And we'll work towards ensuring that we have the best police force reflecting in every part of Nigeria.
All right, thank you so much. All right, that's the Minister of Police Affairs talking to us, Amechi, giving his own perspective. And again, I'll have another minister joining us. And this is the minister, a nominee from the Federal Capital Territory. Let's meet you first of all.
My name is Zephaniah Petro Gisalo. I'm a member of the Order of Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Minister for Social Duty and Intergovernmental.
Okay, I remember that when you took your oath, you were celebrating, you were happy. What does this mean to the FCT as a whole?
You see me celebrating because it has never happened before. This is the first time that FCT is being given the mandate that is required. And I'm rejoicing on behalf of the people of FCT, the residents, and indigenous people of the FCT. I'm rejoicing on behalf of them. I'm very happy because it has never happened before, so we are happy. And let me assure Nigerians that this government is for everybody.
Okay, there's been some sort of transparency issues in the Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs. How do you intend to address some of these issues in terms of giving out national honors to deserving Nigerians?
This is the department or the ministry is for all Nigerians, and I'm starting with a responsibility to make sure that I coordinate, and then with other agencies that are attached to this ministry, we will do our best. I will not relay to make sure that I do my best to give the people of Nigeria the best.
Okay, so how do you intend to represent the people of FCT, because you are getting this for the first time in so many years?
FCT is for all Nigerians. And for there, I will be liaising with the minister of the FCT to make sure that the people, the residents, are given the quality education, health, and other things that's required so that Abuja will have a smooth government.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. All right, that's the Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs who is spoken. And I have again joining me, Honorable Nkiruka Onyojocha. Okay, how do you feel? What's the atmosphere for you?
Well, I feel excited. I haven't heard from the President that we should see ourselves as Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. For me, that's key. And having been employed under Ministry of Labour and Employment, and this is where the issues are, because Nigerian youths, most of Nigerian youths are not employed. How do you make sure that these youths are taken off the streets? So simple. Look at the labour laws and look at all the laws that have not been effectively been implemented, starting from the companies that are working in Nigeria. We have to look at the quota system. If they have not given us our quota system based on what the laws are saying, they are going to start to do that. And once this is done, many youths will be taken off the street. And then you understand that the president during campaign promised that Nigerian youths will be employed. So what are you going to do? And in case you have some of people that are not employable, that's where NDE comes in. You have to train this youth to be employable. And you must make sure that the youth are taken off the street. Anyhow, because this is a country, we must do everything possible to make sure that the youth are taken off the street. And so I see a renewed hope for Nigerian youths. I see a renewed hope for unemployed individuals, not just youths. There are people who are capable, who are qualified, who need to be employed. So we must create an enabling environment where these people will be gainfully employed. And few months or years to come, when they have the street, it will reduce insecurity, it will reduce a lot of banditry and all those things.
You are coming at a time into this ministry, at a time the government and the Labour are having some sort of face-off over subsidy removal. And again, there's been this threat of strike from the Labour over the increment in fuel price and a host of issues within the Labour sector. How do you intend to address some of these issues now that you're the Minister of State for Labour?
It's very simple. Conversations are ongoing. We continue the conversation and make sure that we agree and we be sincere to each other. The truth of the matter is that most times the government side may not really tell them the truth. First and foremost, tell somebody the truth. And we are all Nigerians. The Labour people want to succeed. They want to live very well. They want to be comfortable. So we should see ourselves as Nigerians first. Let us tell each other the truth and face the challenges. And with transparency in discussion, the conversation and the narratives will change. And I believe that there wouldn't be more strikes because everybody will be on the same page. Like the president said, that he's the driver, we are the conductors, all Nigerians are the passengers. So we are heading to the next destination.
Okay, on the final note before I let you go, you are the Minister of Labour, State for Labour. I want to find out from you, honestly, do you think it's ill timing, the removal of fuel subsidy in Nigeria at this time?
Why, if you say it's not the real time, when? You don't keep postponing the evil day. You have to do what you have to do. But once you do that, you try to leverage on what you can do to ameliorate the pains that you bring. There's no change that doesn't bring there's no gain without pain. There's no gain without pain anywhere in the world, even in your home, even in your office. So there must be some pain. But the truth of the matter is that if, like, the president is sincere to make sure that those pains are reduced, you understand? And so we have to take Panadol for our headache.
All right, thank you very much. Amechi Anansi, that's the Minister of State for Labor, Honorable Nkiruka Onyenjocha. And clearly, from what she has said, Nigerians will be hoping to see how she brings to bear a wealth of experience as a lawmaker in terms of negotiating with labor over the issue of fuel subsidy and a host of other issues. Amechi Anansi.
Thank you so much, Yemi Adebayo. Just stay tuned. After we leave the studio, as we round up now, we hope you join Imoni and Marere with other ministers also, explaining to Nigerians what they hope to do while they are in office. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Yemi. And I think perhaps we should actually call it a day. So much has been said since 9:30 a.m. We've been here. So Nigeria, here we are. We have our ministers now.
New faces, new kids on the block.
Yes, new kids on the block. We have to start getting used to their names. But as Nigerians, we shouldn't be docile. We should hold them accountable. The president has actually told us to hold them accountable. Of course, transparency, accountability are the watchwords we should hold this government to. And I'm also particularly, expectant to see the women that are in this cabinet and what they will be bringing to the table. We heard from two of them there, and they
started on a good note.
Starting on a good note, and you all there have to represent us well. So.
We have to say thank you
to
our guests. In the studio here, we have Professor Onyebuchi Chukwu, former Minister of Health, two-time Minister of Health under the Jonathan administration. Eniola Ko is Executive Director of Next Action, a youth activist group that are also involved with the electoral reforms. And online, we have three other patriotic Nigerians joining us today.
We had Tokumbo Afikuyomi Jr., Tokes, like I call him, senior economist, Stairs Insight. Thank you for joining us. Dr. Pedi Obani, Associate Professor, School of Law, Bradford University, joined us from London. Professor Dong Pamsha, Director of Research, National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, Kuru Jos. Prof, we hope that they've listened and they will be coming to you guys for a retreat and training.
And capacity building.
Yes, capacity building. So we'll keep tabs on that. Thank you, gentlemen. Oh, ladies and gentlemen.
I thought you missed that out.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. It's been so nice doing this with you from 9:30 a.m. I am Nancy Naji, and of course, our colleague is getting ready to take the baton from us. Imoni Amari with People, Politics, and Power.
My name is Amechi, and if we don't get waste, just stay with him, and you get even much more from him. Have a good time. Bye.